Uh, we have increased the amount of assets that we've supported, so we live in danger times. So yes.
That's not good enough, bro. That's not
The
good enough.
nope, we're done with questions right now. There's really
That's
nothing
not
more
good
for us to
enough.
add.
You're done.
Just
with
want to tell you,
questions right
the
now.
Secret Service and the
You know what?
FBI
I'm done
and the state
with
attorney's
you.
office have been fantastic to
You're
work with.
talking about you're done.
And I can tell you right now, our
Listen, the reporter asked him, and welcome to the Brother L show. This is part 3. They only give us limited time on I don't know what's going on, but they keep popping us out every 15 minutes off of Facebook. But it's okay. But this guy says, stop, no more questions. Wait a minute. You literally got the hottest topic, okay, in the world right now. We're talking about this President Trump is a global icon and a global impact right now. Right now. What he say matters to the world. And they listening. That all that crap about nobody's laughing. They're lying. When Donald Trump speaks, the entire globe listen. That's what y'all not realizing. When Donald Trump speaks, the entire globe listens. Why? Because he is he's first of all, he has data from the president from being the president. 2, he's on every poll is indicating to the world he's coming back. It's just a matter of time. It's a second assassination attempt. Nobody likes Kamala. Nobody likes Kamala. Nobody likes the DNC policies. We don't care about what face they put up there. They can put a green face. They can put a white face, a black face, a pale face, a red face. It don't matter. The policies are against our Constitution. It undermines the freedoms. It undermines our values, our liberties. It undermines the nuclear family. It undermines our international interests. It undermines our way of life. It does not. It's not about Kamala Harris. It's not about if she's Indian. We appreciate and honor you for having a nationality on the record to operate at that level, right? And we also, from a business aspect, can appreciate you understanding how to appeal to your audience with this whole black thing. And so you got to understand that it's not about Kamala in that sense. It's not about her in that sense. She represents the DNC, and their policies, bottom line, is just not good for America. It never has been. Look what happened in the city of Pontiac. I keep giving y'all two.
There's been a second.
Just 2 particular arrangements here. Hold on, but I'm sorry, I do need a producer. But again, what do you mean? It's like guys like it's just that attitude, oh, that's what I was saying about the sister. What is happening here? Are we still on and popping? Okay, we on and popping here. Right. Trying to get this thank y'all for y'all patience, man. But again, okay, so we are live here. All right, cool. I feel a lot better now. But like I said, it's not Kamala Harris that's the issue. But the guy she's running with is a complete clown. Never seen him, but I can tell you he's a complete clown. But outside of that, it's not about Kamala, okay? We thank you, Kamala, for your service. Honorable, right? Because a lot of years of service, community service, really, when you think about it. It's just community service because you represent your community. But my point is, thank you for your service. Years of service as an AG, district attorney, senator, your entire career. Listen, you will forever be a symbol for women, young ladies all over the world to aspire to be. That's the American dream. That's the point. Now you have the first Asian Indian descent. How does she Indian? She's an Indian American. The first Indian American to run for president of the United States, female. That is an accomplishment within itself. And I'm not shortchanging you here. I'm saying, think about that. You went from not even in the discussion, because in 2020, you was not in the discussion. You got beat down in the primary. You move out of that, you end up being VP. You take that accomplishment and think about that. The Vice President of the United States is the first Indian American to serve in that capacity. First person to serve, allegedly, sir, because we, again, I'm a MAGA guy, and we haven't forgot about the coup of 2020, Project 2020. So for us, it's a coup, it's illegitimate, it's de facto in its nature, it's a regime. However, for the world, right? Say, not for the world, for their supporters. Let me say it to you like that. The first VP that looks like an Asiatic VP, that is amazing, right? That is a very good image. When I went into the halls of the state capitol in Michigan, it was all Caucasian males on the wall. That's what it was. And that's their heroes. That's why they say our founding, that's their heroes. And I respect that. I respect their heroes, right? They're patriots who stood up and fought for them to have a nation, for them to have a home, to have not just a home, but to have prosperity, to have peace, to have economy, perpetual economy that's booming, to have access to abundance of resources. I respect that. I honor that. Now, where is our heroes? Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to Marcus Garvey. Honors to our to Brother G. Cook Bay, my great grandfather, and my great grandmother, Sister M. Cook Bay, and Brother I. Cook Bay. These are our great patriarchs and matriarchs of our family who came and paved the way and uplifted our nations, right? And stood on the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So I shared that experience with all of the children that went with us, and that was what it's about. It's about, honoring, first of all, producing heroes, producing leaders, right? That represents the growth and stability and prosperity of our nation. So to see the Asiatic Indian descent, VP up there, that's a great image to inspire millions upon millions of young sisters, young leaders of all nationalities to be great. You know what I mean? To put and then that contribution leaves a legacy for the next. So all of that is great. But here is the reality. The DNC policies are un-American. DNC policies are unconstitutional. On Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, it says a republican form of government is guaranteed, shall be secured in every state of this union and protected from invasion. So you got to understand there is no such thing as a democracy, all that other stuff they be screaming. Your democracy is in the Constitution. We vote. You vote for your representatives. There's a constitutional process. That's your voices being heard. You can go to any city council, any county commission board, any public meeting. You own it. And you have 3 to 5 minutes to voice your opinion. You have plenty of ways for remedies and redresses to solve problems and produce resolutions, but you don't study your charter. You don't study the city's charter. You haven't studied your constitution, the state constitution. You got to know. You got to be civically aware in order to protect yourselves and to enforce the law, to secure change in your interests and everything else. And so we again, there's no way we could support those policies that undermine. And listen, I guarantee you this, to the younger Americans, to the undecided Americans, or to the people that's easily duped on commercials, I can't even get it out of my mouth. It's so important. It's like, have you really examined? I can almost guarantee you haven't had a chance to experience the American dream. You have no idea, no clue what citizenship is about. You've been on the bad end of the stick of bad information and propaganda, racism, all these, personal ideologies, all this stuff. It has nothing to do with, math, the factors of math, right? How do we solve problems? We solve problems through math. Right? And the factors, we can't go into opinions when we talk about solving problems. For a lot of people, your opinion is shaped by how you feel, your experience, and then you just, you know, we all over the place now. We just ignore the facts, and that's what we've been doing. And this is how we keep getting the wrong people in the leadership capacities that's supposed to be representing the people, but have pledged their allegiance to these private organizations, clubs, different circles, whether they secret societies, Eastern Stars, Western Stars, the Masonic groups, all this stuff, all this crap that continues to deprive and disenfranchise the American people from their vast estate. It's amazing. But okay, so that's the Brother L's response to what's going on. God bless America. God bless President Trump. Make sure, and God bless you all that's on this live this morning. We're covering the breaking news around the second attempted, I don't know how you said it. Somebody tried to assassinate the president again and failed. And they actually have somebody in custody. And again, if you know anything about your rights, even the shooter, the alleged shooter has constitutional rights. But what does this mean for our country? What does this mean moving forward? Right? What does this mean to you? Right? When we can no longer, and that's what's been happening. I noticed this. Instead of us having instead of us having an educational debate.
Instead of us having
or where we can both present information in a civilized manner. What's going on now is people are getting so upset because they don't have the intellectual capacity to communicate, right, their positions without emotion. And then they start yelling, screaming at you. They start calling you a name. They come with personal. They try to find personal attacks. I have seen it all, right? And it's hilarious because you can see the intelligence go out the room as their emotions rise, as they're confronted with facts, right? They're confronted. Like, hey, so what did you say again? And you start hitting them over the head with this information that just totally destroys their opinion. That narrative they tried, oh, he's racist. That orange man, it's a white man, and it's garbage. Just complete garbage. Give me some policies. Give me some stuff. Give me some real stuff. Don't give me the stuff that the news wants you to regurgitate. Give me some real stuff. So that's the issue we've been dealing with. And I've been seeing that. Like, shit, we need some Secret Service protection. I've seen people really just get so belligerently upset and just, you know what? You're a maggot. I'm like, wow, I'm a maggot. And I have a sense of humor, so I really do. I have a sense of humor, so I think it's funny. Plus, I'm not in a debate to you know, to like be to be mad. It's like, it's not to be mad. Okay, so here's what President Trump had to say. I would like to thank everyone for your concerns and well wishes. It was certainly an interesting day. Most importantly, I want to thank the U.S. Secret Service, Sheriff Rick Brasson and his office of brave and dedicated patriots, and all of law enforcement for the incredible job done today at Trump International in keeping me, as the 45th President of the United States and a Republican nominee in the upcoming presidential election, safe. The job done was absolutely outstanding. I'm very proud to be an American. We all are, sir, and honors to you. Let's see what else we got. What else do we have out here on the web?
Officials say Secret Service spotted a man with a weapon outside the golf course fence and opened fire. An AR-style
rifle was recovered at the scene, as well as a back.
Today,
Breaking news on the gunfire reported near Donald Trump in Florida. The FBI released a statement saying it is, quote, investigating what appears to be an attempted assassination of former President Trump. Trump's campaign says he is safe and the authorities have one person in custody. Donald Trump was golfing at his club in West Palm Beach and took cover after shots were heard in his vicinity around 2 p.m. Eastern time. Senior law enforcement officials say Secret Service spotted a man with a weapon outside the golf course fence and opened fire. An AR-style rifle was recovered at the scene, as well as a backpack. Trump has now left the golf club. His motorcade is seen here heading back to Mar-a-Lago a short while ago. And both President Biden and Vice President Harris have been briefed on the matter. Breaking news on the gunfire reported near Donald Trump in Florida. The FBI released a statement saying it is, quote, investigating what appears to be an attempted assassination of
What else do we have?
So close, it seems. Hi, David.
Yeah, hey, Eric. Hey, Molly. We're told the suspect's name is Ryan Wesley Root, R-O-U-T-H. Not much more known about him at this time, except that he's the suspect currently in custody right now. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office says that he was taken into custody by the Martin County Sheriff's Office, just the county north of Palm Beach, was taken into custody after escaping the scene in his black SUV. According to the sheriff in Palm Beach, he did not make any sort of initial statement when he was taken into custody. They're expected to be releasing more details, a mugshot, whatnot later, but we're continuing to dig into who he is, who Ryan Root is, where he's from, his background. We're seeing a little bit online. We want to be careful and make sure we have all of the information correct before we present it to our loyal viewers. But we can tell you right now that his name is Ryan Wesley Root. Eric, Molly.
And we want to be careful with the information because we want to get it from authorities and not go into speculation. Any sense, though, from what you've been able to determine, what could have potentially been a motive yet? Or is it much too early, David, in terms of politics, in terms of background, the fact that the gunman allegedly had a GoPro to potentially shoot and film and video what he was going to do and put it on social media? What allegedly motivated this potential assassin?
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest. We don't know at this time.
It came so close, it seems. Hi, David.
Yeah, hey, Eric. Hey, Molly. We're told the suspect's name is Ryan Wesley Root, R-O-U-T-H. Not much more known about him at this time, except that he's the suspect currently in custody right now. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office says that he was taken into custody by the Martin County Sheriff's Office, just the county north of Palm Beach, was taken into custody after escaping the scene in his black SUV. According to the sheriff in Palm Beach, he did not make any sort of initial statement when he was taken into custody. They're expected to be releasing more details, a mugshot, whatnot later, but we're continuing to dig into who he is, who Ryan Root is, where he's from, his background. We're seeing a little bit online. We want to be careful and make sure we have.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people.
Why are all these people leaving in the middle of the speech?
Man, cut it out.
The power of mass media.
Cut it out. Let me see.
Attempted assassination. We did hear three things today. I'm glad that we did. Number one, that the former president is safe. Number two, that the suspect that they believe is responsible has been apprehended. And number three, they don't believe that there are any accomplices. Now let me say this. We've seen during the press conference, the federal, state, and local agencies working together. They've been working together before this tragic incident. They will continue to work together to figure out. They believe they know the who, but the why. How is this able to?
Let's see what we got here. Statement for immediate release. Statement by Vice President Harris, September 15, 2024. I am deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt. By the possible. I don't know what that means coming out. But I meant by the possibility of an assassination attempt of former President Trump. I mean, I can't believe it's even possible. As we gather the facts, I will be clear. I condemn political violence. We all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence. Huh? Man, who put this out, dog? I know they ain't put this out. I'm confused. We all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to violence. Okay, whatever. I am thankful that former President Trump is safe. I condemn the U.S. Secret Service. Oh, I commend the U.S. Secret Service and law enforcement partners for their diligence. As President Biden said, our administration will ensure the Secret Service has every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to carry out its critical mission. So you mean to tell me the people who we ran against, who we said cheated us, and we said all this stuff about, they're in charge of your protection? Man, in my opinion, it might be the reason why people feel so comfortable taking a look at you. I mean, that might be the reason. Think about it. I'm beefing with you. You my enemy. You my political enemy, and really we enemies. We don't like each other. All right. You want to put me in jail for 100 years. I want to prosecute you, but I didn't even take a look at y'all when I got in. I could have took a look at y'all. I took a look around the industry y'all developed and started knocking them boys down. But the reality of it is I didn't even put y'all in jail. I could have put Hillary Clinton in jail and everybody else attached to her. I could have went after Obama. I could have did the same thing that y'all doing to me, but I didn't. But y'all still did it. And it's funny, it's ironic that these same people I'm beefing with is in charge of my protection. That's interesting. That's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's probably the main reason why people are taking a look at you. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Candace. I think Trump needs to, with the mass movement behind us, President Trump and I will transform our food system. We will get the chemicals out of the water, air, food, and soil. We will drain the corruption out of the agencies that are supposed to protect the public. By 2028, I promise, we will make America healthy again. So that's probably another reason why they're trying to take him out. You know what I'm saying? Because who is he talking about when he makes this statement? He's talking about the trillionaires, the oligarchs that we created from the fake food industry that's destroying and killing Americans. See, everybody's looking at the war abroad, but not looking at the let's look at what he's
his entire career. Then Kennedy broadened his cause to include children's health.
Hold on, before I let Kennedy rock out, they're not looking at all the other wars and attacks on the American people. The American people is at war with the elites and don't even know it. They don't even know it. Like, we don't even realize that people have been selling us fake watermelon. They ain't got no seeds in it. Like, people has been getting you to eat bleach and Little Debbie products. Like, what are you doing? And then you get sick. Where do you go? To the doctor or hospital. Now all of the hospitals are freaking gazillionaires right in your face. Why is the hospitals getting bigger? Why do the hospitals look like cities, man? It's impossible. The hospitals should be small. It shouldn't be great, big old hospitals. What's going on with Americans and their health? They don't have any health. All right. Their immune system is 100% shot, compromised. It's not getting any better. I don't care how many videos we do about healthy this and go work out. It's not getting any better because of the trauma. The trauma. We are a traumatized nation trying to figure it out. We never heal, and hurt people, and that's the deal that's going on right now. We're going around the world hurting people for no reason because we're hurt. We need to heal. We need to heal as a nation, but we can never get to that point when you keep eating the bullcrap food that's keep getting past the FDA because the FDA is compromised. The CDC is compromised. The CDC is compromised. That's all executive office. That's the president's office. What are we doing there? You don't need a legislation enacted. You're the president. You're over the executive side. Take care of the business. Shut them down. Get some stuff in there that actually is right for Americans. Why is all of our products, ingredients banned in other countries, in hundreds of other countries, but it's not banned here? We keep getting sicker and sicker and sicker per the bite. Like, come on, man. So you bring in Kennedy to join the Trump campaign to take care of this whole thing that he ran on. They want them people dead, man, in my opinion. They want them gone. You talking about what? These people are quadrillionaires. They done made so much money that they can't even count it over Americans being asleep for plus 30 years? What happened to the great farmers of old, right? What happened to us? Each American had its own agriculture program. What are we doing? When we become dependent on government to put food in our mouths? Stop it. Cut it out. These people are not cashier people. They're security guards at the stores. They're making sure you don't steal the food or what appears to be food. They're not the cashier employee. These people are actually security guards, man, because we didn't got to a point where we said, forget the guard in the backyard, the front yard, the side of the house. Forget going to get land and putting food down there to feed the community. No, we'll pay you $3 for a dang on onion, man. The onion is free. You get the onion out the ground, man, for free. You spend 3 months and taking care of it, and bam, you got so many onions, you're giving it out to the neighborhood, dog. The same thing with the apples, the same thing with the oranges, the same thing with maybe per the territory, but you get the gist of what's happening here. This is a redevelopment. This is the re-engagement of your consciousness. Like, why we keep making the government bigger by being dependent upon it instead of shrinking it by being independent of it. And you got all these people being pacified and being moved into this capacity of non-active, non-civic engagement, non-consciousness, non-productivity. They don't got a GPD of their own. What are we doing here? What are we doing here in America right now? And this is why the rest of the world says, you know what? Nope. We're not going to keep doing this with the Americans. We refuse to let the Americans in their confused state come tell us and guide us nowhere. Right. And I respect that. You know, we got to make decisions that empower our community first. And that's what's about the American First movement is about. The America First policy. We got guys like Mike Johnson. And I actually kind of like Mike in a sense because he's a man of faith and all of that stuff. It's just, I don't know. I'm, that kind of person. But I like, people that present themselves well, family people, men of faith, honor. But Mike, we got on there as soon as you got hired in as a speaker, the first thing you put out was something to acknowledge a foreign nation in support. Like, what happened to you doubling down, tripling, quadrupling down to let the American people know America's first? America's first. And so until we end the pandemic on the street, the economic pandemic, the inflation pandemic, the currency pandemic, we still are at war. And this infects the entire planet. That's why I said pandemic, not an epidemic, a pandemic. What about the health crisis amongst the ages of 15 to 24? All the STDs from the over-sexualization of our children because of the infusion of that content that's infused into the curriculum, into the social media, into the algorithms of the social media, targeting our children to be over-sexualized. Now they're up here humping and dumping, and what's happening is there's an epidemic of what? Of diseases now. So the American children, America's children are currently under attack. The infrastructure of the schools were depleted, destroyed, crumbled. And look at these communities, wherever you see failing schools, you see a high poverty rates, you see high crime rates, you see low graduation rates, you see a almost non-existing workforce, meaning that the local economies are outsourced. So that means that you got imported employees, contractors, etc., to support, to make up the workforce. That means that all of your money, all of that income that's generated from contractual work and other components of the economy is all is generated there, but it's leaving out the door into other people's pocket, going into other people's community where they live, and where they build up these communities that we ride through talking about, man, I have a dream to live out here one day. But actually, while you dreaming, they stealing everything from you because it's embedded in education. If you don't know, you're out to lunch. A man can only be what he or she knows. And so again, if the hub is the school, if the spirit, the soul of a community is in schools, and you have failing schools, the city's dead. And at that point, nobody's going to invest in that city. Nobody's willing. And that's why you see these cities taking so long to be rehabilitated, to be redeemed, because you really got to do something. You really got to really give up everything in order for somebody to come in and start to rebuild this place. Because the people themselves don't have the skills to go out there and rebuild their own city. They don't got trade skills. They don't know how to build the house from the ground up. Not everybody, but the makeup of the city, the spirit, the mental attitude has been defeated. It's been defeated, man. So, as they would say, let's make it make sense. It's a lot going on, man. Like I remember from 2016 to 2019, we was able to put checks in almost 100 employees, subcontractors' pockets, bro. We made it happen under the America First policy. We've seen money flowing in, man, hand over fist, contracts were available. You're talking about we were the first ones in the city of Pontiac to create our own opportunity zone. We beat President Trump there. We discovered millions upon millions of dollars circulating in the local economy, man. And the fact that we was disconnected from the information, we didn't have access to the information. But once we got in, meaning Brother L got us in there, and we found out the information, we immediately acted on that information, and we immediately seen our lives change. It takes finances to uplift a nation. Policies matter. Policies matter. It matters that policies support the growth, the economic growth, development, and prosperity of Americans first. Not some foreign nation. Not that I don't like our allies or even our enemies. I love them all because we turn enemies into allies. And the reason why you are allies is because we help in making you rich, and in return, you help making us rich. We're both useful to each other. And this is creating international peace and stability. So instead of shooting rockets, and let's shoot a contract over there. Let's do business. Let's rebuild South Korea. Let's rebuild Africa. Let's go into those nations. Let's bring them into modern times. Let's do all the things that we're supposed to do, right? Especially in nations where we have, taken something from them, their natural resources, or we've done some heinous act. I don't know. But let's go make good where we messed up at. Let's create new friends. Let's build the world in a way that they can receive and experience and appreciate our American dream, our American experience. Not to go over there and disrespect somebody's culture like the Sons of Africa said we did with this so-called current administration under Biden and Harris. Went over there talking about human rights. Let's do all these kind of parades against a culture where you still get capital punishment for crimes that's deemed unnatural, meaning like when you violate the laws of nature, same-sex marriage, all that type of stuff, all that type of stuff is not recognized with these nations that we've been doing business with. Then we go over there and try to, push this on them. Like, you can't do that to people. Don't push your ideologies. That's not in alignment with our customs. People have been practicing their customs for thousands and thousands of years. You got to have a respect for that. Excuse me. We got to have a respect for people's customs and cultures and their heritage. Here in America, we don't believe in men, and we're not going to support men competing in women's sports. That's a violation of women's rights. They got a right to compete and against their own gender at a level and be respected and be paid for their work and be marketed at the highest levels. Okay, and the children got a right to go in and learn math and science and geometry and AP and world history, and they don't have to be subjected to curriculums that sway them away from their family's cultural practices that's been accepted by their ancient ancestors for millions of years. And so when we got President Trump getting up there and told the world, like, I don't support that. We don't support this. We're not going to do that here. That's a signal to the rest of the world, the business community that we've been doing business with, the SARS, the China, the all of these Muslim countries and African countries. And we said, hey, not with this administration. That's a strong, and it's not. That's fair. No, you got men's sport, you got women's sports, you got children's sport. Some 20-year-old can't come play with 16-year-olds. What are you talking about? That's a violation of the rules of the game. We got to protect our games. We got to protect our way. Somebody want to come in here and change. That's Project 2020. Project 2020 was about changing the way of America, the American way. It's about attacking our livelihood. And it's okay to shake things up, in my opinion. Shake things up, because if something ain't right, nobody ain't listening. You got to shake things up so people can pay attention. People can hear you out now. Hey, man, wait a minute. You ain't going to keep cutting us out because I'm a gay person or because I'm a trans. You're not going to act like I don't exist. I'm an American too. I'm a citizen too. I'm a taxpayer too. I have a right to representation, regardless of who I love, regardless of what I want to do to my body. Right? Every single American has freedoms, liberties, and rights that's recognized at law. So that was the problem. We have to be inclusive of everybody. We have to be conscious that we represent all of Americans of these United States in this constitutional republic. Make sure we are specific in our language. Because America's a continent and it hosts nations. And nations are identified through its constitution. Okay? And so all citizens, whether you gay, straight, Moorish, whatever your nationality, whatever your sex and age, the infant, the heartbeat, you are protected under this constitution. You are protected by God Almighty, and whatever your name is for your creator. Because we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created free and endowed with certain rights, by their creator. Not my creator, yours. Understand that. That's the Declaration of Independence under the free national constitutional principles that's been in force since 1774. But they show you so much sports and entertainment. You're not interested in history. You're not interested in gathering the information. This is essential. This is the building block. This is the missing piece of your consciousness. This is the missing piece of your consciousness, man. But again, make sure y'all visit us at www.brothereel.com. That's BROTHEREL.com. We just released my new book, My Adorable Adorers Lullabies. 100 lullabies inspired by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, on sale. On sale right now. It was at $29.99. But right now you can get it on sale for $19.99 at www.brothereel.com. Brothereel.com. Great children's music book. Put your babies to bed. And we have to. I got my daughter, my adorable Adora. She's just turned 9. I always want to say 9/23. I always want to get that first 9. So it's September 9th, 2023. And my 5-year-old is August 28th, 2019. So he just turned 5. She just turned 1. Both Virgos. And we take naps. We got to put them to bed. And that's where I came up with this concept from. Me and my wife she was singing her a lullaby. And I said, you know what? We need to create this lullaby book infused with our Moorish principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Bring the children up early childhood development on these principles. And it's very soothing, very enlightening. It's like you're just traveling all over the multiverse to these new realities and new dimensions. And it's really cool experience for our infants, our toddlers, and for the readers, for everybody. It's a universal book, and it's also will be released this week in 4 different languages, right? We got Mandarin, Arabic, Latin, and what was the 4th one? Oh, English. So sorry about that. So we got it coming out. It's actually available, will be available by the end of the week in 4 different languages, and we're going to continue to try to get it into more different languages because it's a global piece. It's for everybody, and babies are going to continue to come. What a way to bring children up into this world and develop them to be leaders from these principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And that is for everybody. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning for this Brother L response to the breaking news. Again, we'll continue to cover this story as it develops, as it continues to develop. But it's a sad day in America, and it's also the greatest day, and one of the greatest days in America too, because the attempt did not. It was just an attempt, and it's just the fact of an attempt, a second attempt at that. That now is saying, oh, okay, we on some bull crap here. Okay, this country, we don't put up with that. And so for somebody even to get the idea that they have the ability to attack the U.S. government, because that's what they did. Trump is U.S. property. And when an attack on Trump is an attack on the United States government, whether you like Trump or not. But that's just the facts. Once you become president, you are federal government property for life. For life. So actually, an attack on President Trump was an attack on the Secret Service. The Secret Service is, in fact, the U.S. government. That's an attack on Biden and Kamala Harris right now. That's an attack on them. So when they decided to, whoever this group is, the U.S. government should be on edge that somebody had the audacity to attack us, and we're supposed to strike fear in enemies abroad, and we're not striking fear in domestic enemies. People have that much type of courage. You got people talking about gangs are being set up. We end up seeing reports about secret police, Chinese police in New York carrying out missions. We didn't see so much information that you would say 20, 50, 60, 70 years ago was impossible. You know, this is impossible. You mean tell me this country done got so lax, United States government done got so lax, where it just people are not fearing I'm in my head like I would never. Is you crazy? I barely would say something associated with violence in the U.S. government. Like, nah, we cool on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nobody at my door at all. Even though I understand I have a right to free speech, but I also know that there's some things that what do I even want to say that for? What am I getting at? So for somebody to actually get in a car, load up weapons, and go to a location where the President Trump might be at, and actually attempt to execute something for the second time, that's interesting to me. At this point, these are hits. Who is putting these people out here? Well, who is Trump going against? And I ain't talking about like the puppets. No, understand it was no wars. We was doing negotiations. It's called diplomacy, man. We sitting people down around. Now, if I got to get tough, I'm going, because you can't punk us. So Trump told him, man, we'll knock your country off the map. If that's what you want to do. You want to shoot rockets? Okay, hey, bro, chill. Please chill. because we send a Moab to you every time. We're going to send you a Moab every time. Stop. Whether this with Taliban, South Koreans, it don't matter, right? Now, you want to do some civilized, we'll sit down like we sat down with NATO. We sat down with Germany. We sat down with all these, our so-called Western allies. Hey, man, that ain't going to work no more. Y'all ain't going to keep robbing. Y'all ain't going to keep robbing my country and sending me back to make it look good. No, ain't none of that's going on. You've been getting 70% of your energy units from Russia, but yet you want us to protect you from Russia. But you, in talking to Germany, but you purchasing 70% of your energy units from Russia. So Russia's supposed to be your enemy, but you making Russia rich off Germany money. And you delinquent with us. So we talking about NATO. All these countries wasn't paying their obligations. Their obligations wasn't satisfied under the Obama administration, but it got satisfied under the Trump administration. Let's get these things straight. You ain't hear about no Keystone Pipeline under a Trump administration. As soon as Trump was so-called out of there, you heard about a Keystone Pipeline for Russia running straight into Germany, making Russia filthy rich. But you closing down our Keystone Pipeline. You shutting down drilling over here to where we can produce, have this mass production and be a competitor in the oil production industry, where we got liquid gold. And this is how we cripple our enemies. We cripple them because we didn't enter the market where they make their most money at, the oil. So now we're a competitor. We got better oil, and we can get you the oil anywhere you at. So why wouldn't we be using that as a war tool? That's a war tool. That's a war strategy. So instead of having to fire missiles, I'm a take all my allies that you've been serving, like Germany, for example. Germany was getting 70% of their energy units from Russia. So now we got our pipeline that goes straight over into Europe that allows us to get them what they need when it comes to their energy units. Therefore, they don't have to purchase this stuff from Russia. So if Russia ain't getting all this money in from oil and all that type of stuff, right, and we interrupting that, then they got to focus on their economy. They ain't got time to be worried about, going over here, going into Ukraine, doing all this other stuff. They ain't got the resources to do it because President Trump is taking away all of their abilities to do it financially. He's weakening them through the economic strategy. Now we got oil, dog. We're gonna sell you your energy. We're gonna get 70%. You're gonna get 70% of your energy units from the USA. You're gonna get 70% of your energy units from the USA. So you want us to protect you from the so-called enemy, but you purchasing 70% of your energy units from the so-called enemy? Nah, dog. How is that making America great again? How is that making America rich again? How is that making America strong again? It does not. While you got the Saudis and Russia in alignment with the BRICS agenda, the BRICS Plus nation, which is his whole outfit, is to dethrone the USA as the world reserve dollar, and then start to build the strength of China's currency, the yuan. Now it closed out deals with the Saudis to settle their oil transactions in the yuan and other currency. They open up the floodgates to strengthen everybody else and to weaken America. And all this was done under the Biden-Harris administration. They seen an opportunity and seized the opportunity to get rich under the Biden-Harris regime. That's just the facts. They did not go into Ukraine. It was no October 7th element happening over in the Middle East. We had some form of stability. I can't say it was perfect, but we did see some actions, the Abraham Accords. That was the beginning of bringing people together, the moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, recognized it as the capital of Israel. I know a lot of people were upset, saying that was a violation in many different folds. However, it got done. It was no, all of the stuff that was happening now. And there was room for negotiations. There was room to continue talks. And I don't know where he stands at on the two-state solution. I don't. I haven't heard him say anything about it. I heard everybody else talked about it. But I do pray that his team saying there got to be a two-state solution. It can't be just bully politics where you just going to do what you want to do. Meaning what? Okay, what about those hostages that's being held by Hamas? And what about the hostages that's being held by Israel? You got to be fair. You can't call them prisoners and then call them hostages. They're all hostages. Let the people free. What are we doing capturing people for our own political gain? This is stupid. Stupid. I think those people are stupid. Those so-called leaders are stupid. To murder people relentlessly for your own personal gains and stuff like that, it's just stupid. Innocent lives are just stupid. Whether I don't care what side they're on. Innocent people deserve to be innocent people, man, and not blown to smithereens and taken off this planet